Hi everyone, I'm Jade Calver. Today I'll be talking about the advertising requirements for labour market impact assessment applications to the Canadian government. Just to recap, so LMIA applications are what's needed to hire a foreign worker for your business in Canada. The LMIA application is processed by Service Canada, otherwise known as ESDC, not Immigration Canada. What they're determining with these applications is if by hiring a foreign worker, they're making sure that you're not taking away positions from Canadians. So they want to make sure the application is going to have a positive or neutral effect on the Canadian labour market and not a negative one. Today I'll talk very in detail about the advertising requirements for the application. The advertisement is a key component of an LMIA application, and it's really important that you understand how to do it properly and what's required in an LMIA advertisement. So when you're doing the ads, you have to first determine the occupation code. So that's the National Occupation Classification, or NOC, or NOC Code as some people call it. And then what that does is it determines the wage that you have to pay the foreign worker. Just to use an example, so if you're filing for a cook, so that's NOC 6322, and they're going to be working in Toronto, you need to look up what the median prevailing wage is for cooks in Toronto. I'm fairly certain at the moment it's $15 or $16 an hour. So that's the minimum wage that you have to be paying your employee, and you have to make sure that all Canadian employees on staff are being paid that same wage. So just be mindful of this when you're determining the wage for the advertisements. Next, what I usually recommend is that you put together a draft ad as per the requirements on the LMIA website. So if you go through, there are a certain number of things that are required to be included in your ad. So that's job title, a list of duties that closely matches the duties of your NOC. So make sure that if you're hiring for a cook, for example, the duties closely match that of the cook. We have to be careful with certain occupations, like cook, for example, can be very close to kitchen helper if it's not skilled enough. Or if it's too skilled, they might say it's a chef and you need to be paying them more. So just be really mindful of this. There are other requirements that need to go into the job ad, and I'll post a sample job ad for you guys to download. What happens with this ad is that you then need to look at the advertising requirements for the program you're applying under. Whether you're applying under the high wage or low wage stream will determine where you need to place these ads. The high wage stream sees you needing to advertise on the job bank and then 2 other platforms that are national in scope. The low wage stream sees you needing to advertise on the job bank and then 2 other platforms that target underrepresented groups. So that's First Nations, veterans, youth, newcomers. So just be mindful of that. Also, in addition to this, when I post the ads, so you've got your ads up, you need to print screen when they went up, because if you put them up September 1st, you need to show and ensure that you have proof and evidence that it was up on that day, because your ads need to run for 4 consecutive weeks. So you want to have evidence of when it started and when it ended. In addition to this, you also need to be mindful of what's called the job match on the job bank. So this is a newer requirement. Positions that are high skilled, you need to go into the job bank and invite those who are 4-star, or it's a ranking system for applicants. So those who are ranked as 4-star, meaning that they match your requirements for the position, you need to go in within the first 30 days and invite all of those who have 4 stars for high wage positions. For low wage positions, it's 2 stars and above. Make sure you do this, because an LMIA officer can actually refuse the application just because you forgot to do the job match. So what happens, the ads run for 30 days and then you need to save the ads. And then what will happen is that everyone who has applied, so that means that they have applied as per your requirements on your job posting, you record everyone who's Canadian or permanent resident, and those who meet the education and other training requirements of your position, which need to match your NOC occupation. So make sure that you can't ask for a master's degree for someone to come and work for you as a cook, for example. So you make sure that everyone is listed on who applied for the position, and only those who meet the requirements, who are Canadian or PR of your position, need to be interviewed. And then once you interview those people, and if none of them meet the requirements and you don't hire them, then you can file for the LMIA and then go through the process of getting an LMIA approval, which then allows you to hire a foreign worker, because the foreign worker can use that LMIA that's approved to apply for their work permit. That's all the information that I have for today on advertising for LMIA applications. If you have any questions about how to file for the LMIA, in particular the advertising requirements, please get in touch. We are online at calverimmigrationservices.com.